Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are going to get started today with a demo. I've shown you guys the basic tools to create this demo here. I'll explain it in just a second. But first, I want to ask, how are you guys doing on your assignments? You guys getting stuck with anything? What are you finding difficult so far with what you're assigned to do and basically, yeah, give me some feedback here so I know what we can
I
improve on.
I just caught up to today's assignments, and for me, it was time allocation and concept, setting the principles to the concepts. So kind of understanding how if statements work and else if.
Okay.
But once I was able to wrap my head around that, it made the assignments pretty easy.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate that. Thank you, Brian. So all right. So maybe writing JavaScript can be a little bit difficult if else statements. Anyone else finding anything difficult in particular? It's all right to admit it, we all learn at different paces.
I'm struggling with the JavaScript number counting on the likes. I've gotten help already on it, but I'm still struggling with it. Even with the example you gave this morning.
Okay.
It's a tricky one because there's a lot of different ways of approaching it, and some are better than others for sure.
Right. There's always more than one way to do something. Um, if you need to, I'll have the videos up again. Like I said this before, but I'll have them up shortly and we can reference that if we get stuck. What about today's morning algo? How'd you guys feel about that?
Good.
Good. Most of our groups got to the second part, so that's pretty good. So, what I'm going to do is split us off into groups, and we're going to create something here by manipulating the document object model. Before I do that, let me show you guys something else here. I'm going to share my screen. I've already created something here. Let me see if I can share it. So I've created a click me button, right? And I've shown you guys how to access something by the this keyword. What I want to show also is how to use the document query selector. So let me show what I mean by that here. XJS. So now I have the JavaScript file on my right. I've connected it to the HTML by this script tag, naming it the file name. All right. So now what I want to do is every time the button is clicked, I'm going to change a number on the page to show how many times it's been clicked. Okay. So I have this thing called foo, but I'm going to call it increase. So I'm going to create a function on the right called function increase. And in this function, I'm going to increase the number of clicks. So I'm going to say clicks equals 0. Oh, I'm going to say var clicks equals 0. Okay. And every time this is clicked, I want to say clicks plus plus. And then I also want to grab this button here. As you can see, I've given this button an ID. So far, we've learned how to target that ID with CSS. So what I'm going to do now is target the ID in JavaScript using a similar method. So I'm going to create a variable called clicks button. And I'm going to say, I'm going to make it equal the document. So this is the document object model that holds everything. So in this Wikipedia page, this is the whole document. So I'm going to access this document. Inspect here on the right. Okay. And then I'm going to say document.querySelector. And I'm going to grab the, I'm going to grab it by the target. So I'm going to say hashtag target. And below it, I'm going to say clicks button dot inner HTML. This is going to grab the clicks button by the inner HTML. And I'm going to say clicks I'm going to actually write in here something else. I'm going to say this button has been clicked this many times. And in here, I'm going to put a semicolon. What is it looking for? A semicolon here?
If you're trying to do string concatenation, you're missing your plus operator.
Right, yes. Thank you, Christian. And maybe I'll put an alert as well. So saying alert button has been clicked.
Did you add a plus at the end?
Yes. So this
Oh.
plus adds the number of clicks to
Oh,
this
no.
string.
Yeah, I thought you added a plus instead of the semicolon. Never mind.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Let me increase the view here. So now when I open this here, every time I click it, the button is going to show how many times it's been clicked. And I did that by accessing the document, then using this query selector, and then grabbing it by the ID. The ID here is target. So I've connected it. Let me just annotate so anyone can view. So I'm grabbing it here and here.
Does it have to be an ID or can it be a class as well?
It can be a class as well.
Okay.
Important thing to know about if you do use a class, because remember classes are supposed to be repeated like in multiple places, it will select the first instance of that class when you use query selector.
I see.
There's also query selector all, which will actually give you essentially like an array of all the things that match the query. So
yep. So I'll just highlight the two boxes here. So that's what's being targeted here. And I'm able to increase it by, well, I'm able to show the view by saying clicks button, and that's the variable I just created above. And then I'm going to make the inner HTML equal this string that includes this variable clicks. Okay, so that's how I'm able to access the document using this document query selector instead of using the this keyword. Okay. Let's get some feedback on how we're understanding this. Could you guys give me a 1 through 10? Okay. So the only difference is that I'm not using the this keyword. I'm passing it in through the ID. I'm targeting it by the ID, and it's still, this JavaScript file still knows what all my IDs are on the page by the script tag at the bottom. Okay, so with this knowledge and knowing how to use the this keyword, we're going to create a magic 8-ball. So just like today's morning algorithm, what happens when have you guys ever played with that magic 8-ball toy? You know, you shake it, gives you an answer. You know, will I find true love? And then maybe next time or something. So that is what we're going to create. We're going to create a view of it on the HTML. You guys can be creative with the CSS. You guys know how to make a circle, right? A circle. And in the inner part of the circle, we are going to display a list of answers. We're going to create a variable that holds those answers. And then we're going to use math.random to go ahead and select one of those answers and display that on our HTML. Okay, we're going to do this with groups, so it's not so difficult. You guys can rely on each other for help. Does anyone have any questions about what we're about to do?
When you say like display it on HTML, do you want like an alert?
No, not an alert. I want to see like, let's see if I can show us here.
Or like you want it to actually show up on the 8-ball?
On the 8-ball itself.
Gotcha.
I don't think there's anything wrong if you guys want to just have the text over an image of an 8-ball that you find as well. You know, I think that's also fine. As long as you are doing the functionality side of things.
Yeah, what I'm looking for is that you guys can do the functionality, use math.random to go through a list, and then once you get the result, instead of just console logging it, I want to see the display on the HTML page. So somewhere on this page, you'll have a ball. And if you want to get fancy with it, you know, focus on the JavaScript first. Have a diamond and have the answer in the diamond here. Okay. All right. Does anyone else have any questions? All right. Well, then let's go ahead and get split into groups. Remember, yeah, border radius 50% on a div to make it round. So once you guys finish the JavaScript, then you can make it really nice with the styling if you have some time left over. Okay, I'll go ahead and create the groups. Okay, have fun, guys. What should we call this group? I don't know, the group numbers. DS group, SPAL. All right, so we have, go ahead.
So yeah, so basically we have it refreshed, and all we got to do is click on the ask a question, then roll me. Is there 8-ball going to be great? Outlook good, nice. So then it added a click too. So we do it again, most likely adds a click. So if we just kind of keep clicking, it keeps adding clicks, and then it keeps changing. And then we went online and we actually saw that there's some standard 8-ball responses. So we dropped them in there.
Okay, great. Now you guys can create a lottery machine and
Yeah.
we'll use it.
All right. Well, if we win, we'll share.
Any other group would like to present their ball?
Yeah, sure. We would like to present ours. Ours is not as clean and as you guys, but we tried a little bit. Let me go ahead and just share my screen in just a second. So for us, we were able to get up to here, and we only got one command to go through, or like path, and it's just like this one. So we only got it to as I see it, yes, and then everything, and it doesn't work past this, unfortunately.
Close, so close.
Yeah, we got it that close, but we also are able to see the console log here. If we go to the console, then we can see here, concentrate and ask again. That's pretty much it. I think that we'll definitely continue working with it.
Okay, nice job. You guys got a triangle too. How'd you guys do a triangle?
Yeah. So we did the triangle by going into the message layout, I think, and then just did hold on, give me 1 second.
We take it off the width at 0 and height at 0. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we ended up finding transform online, and I know that it hasn't been taught to us, but we found an alternative.
How to turn up, down. So
All right, that's all right. Okay, and you guys use position relative, so that's I'll let it slide. But great job, guys.
okay.
Any other groups have a ball worth showing? It's a little different.
We got a great one.
Okay, let's see it.
We're running on California time.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we kind of did the same thing, and we refresh it, it'll kind of start blank, and then click on put a button inside. And
okay, so that's pretty cool. You made a button separate from the display. Could you pull your JavaScript into view as well? Like you can drag it below, like below the CSS, so we can see all three at once. So in this area here, if you
just put it there.
There you go. That's another option. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, so we brought in that array from this morning, the live sensors, and it was kind of the same base code from this morning as well for the random index in the array. And then we used a query selector to get this kind of gray box is like a p tag with class answer. So we selected that with query selector and changed the inner HTML from the array.
Okay.
And then we did some mouse over and out to change the styling of this button when it kind of go over it.
This is really cool, guys. Way to upgrade it. So, and I like that you guys use the query selector. We just showed how to use that, and you already applied it. So well done. And I saw one group had a shiny ball. Can I just see that shiny ball one more time before? Look at this guy. I thought this was at CSS at first. I was gonna have my mind blown. But no, they used an image, and inside the image, they were able to put the display.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, sorry, I was
Yeah.
struggling
Pretty
to
awesome.
mute myself. We did use
CSS.
position relative.
We
We
did.
tried not to. We fixed it, or we tried to fix that, but we struggled. So I kind of put it back at the last moment. But it works. We got a couple different outputs there.
The
It is
position
shiny.
relative is moving the ball around with different text sets.
Yeah, it's not perfect. I don't know. I couldn't figure out how to get to stack on top of the image and not move around everything. I was
It's
struggling
okay.
for some
I'm just
reason.
teasing. It looks great. It looks great.
Thanks.
Creative.
Yeah, the ball's alive.
It looks good.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And
Exactly.
I want to show you guys my screen here because I wanted to show how to do something I already showed how to do, but just using a bit cleaner code here. So sometimes here at the dojo, we'll show you a method of doing something that's not the most efficient way, but it's the best way to learn something new. And then as you progress in your skill, you'll be able to discern here what's the more efficient method of doing something. So let me go ahead and write it out. So on the left here, I'm going to create another button. And in this button, I'm going to put the number of clicks here. So let's see, for example, I'm going to say, make this a like button. And then on here, I'm going to say on click equals, I'm going to say like. And then I'm going to access above the button. I'm going to access a span that has an ID of count. And in this span, I'm going to have a number. Okay. And then in this like here, I'm going to access that ID count by saying ID by the hashtag count. And then on my JavaScript here, I am going to create a function called like. And then in this function here, I'm going to pass a parameter called ID name. And then I'm going to say var span equals document dot query selector. And then in here, I'm going to pass through the ID name that was originally passed through here above. And then I'm going to say span dot inner text plus plus.
You got a typo in inner text. You got inter.
Ooh, good catch. Thank you. Okay. And this is a little bit of a different method here. It's actually taking the 0 that's there and changing that 0. And it's grabbing that by the ID. So let's see this in practice. Here's the span that has the likes. And I click this like button. And it will increase that like. Oh, did I record this? Yes, I did. Okay, great. Okay, so let's take a look again at the code so we can absorb this. On the click, I'm calling the function that I created on the right here. And I'm passing through, instead of this, I'm passing through the ID of the span above called count. On the right-hand side, I created a function that takes in any ID name, and then it creates a variable here called span. That span is going to be the document query selector of the ID name that would be passed through. And then I'm saying increase whatever is in here. So at first it's going to be 0, increase it to 1 or 2, or however many times you click the button. Okay. Let's get a quick status check on this concept. Okay, great. This is some of the concepts here are touching on the tests, on what you're going to have to know to pass the test. So it's good that we're getting around to understanding this. You guys did a great job today. So you did the morning algorithm and you applied it to a challenge, and everyone passed here, or was close enough to passing, to clicking a button and then at least seeing in the console the results of parsing through an array and getting different results. All you need to do then at that point is take those results and apply it to the HTML and change the HTML's view. So give you guys self a pat on the back. So you're getting to become better developers, understanding how to use JavaScript, HTML, and CSS together. Do we have any questions for today that we can answer about selecting the document, about increasing or parsing through data? I should be able to quiz you guys. So, all right, let's do a quick quiz here. What are some ways we can access the document and take in that information and put it into a function?
Document.query selector.
That's one way. Okay, what's another way?
The script hashtag to access the JavaScript.
Right, that's along the lines of using the document query selector. That's in conjunction with that. What's another method?
Get element by class or by ID name. Or
okay, well that's correct, but that's the same way that we've just mentioned. I'm thinking of one other method that uses a keyword.
The this?
Yes, using the this to pass through whatever it is on to pass through, like for example, a div, a button. So great job. Okay. What does why do we use math.floor and math.ceiling with math.random?
To generate a random number.
Okay, random creates a random order, but why do we use them together?
Because we want it to the closest whole number or integer.
Yeah, right. We want a whole number. Okay, great job. Let me think if I can think of any other quiz question here. What is an object in JavaScript? What describe to me an object, and what are its properties?
An object has a value and key pair, and you can have many different value key pairs in an object, and they're separated by colon for the value key pair and comma after each value key pair.
Right. Okay. And how do we access the value of something if we want to, let's say, console log something in that object?
You would call the object dot key, I think.
Right.
And then it would give you the value.
Okay. Nice job. Okay, I think you guys are understanding it. So pretty good, guys. We'll go ahead and break out into we have some code reviews, and then I'll be in my office here, so please don't hesitate to drop by And if you're having any doubts, having any feeling like you're not understanding something, you just need a review, a refresher, I'll be there. Okay, so don't hesitate to drop by and ask me something, even if it's something we've gone over dozens of times now. Okay, so thank you guys, and I'll go ahead and share the videos. I'll let you guys know on Discord when it's up.
Thank you.
Thank you. So today we have David, Brandon, and Brian. So please
Okay.
meet me in my room.
Okay.
We have to go ahead and create these breakout rooms, so I'll go ahead and do that now.
I got them made. Do you want me to make specific code review rooms or just use the offices?
Oh, just the office is fine.
Then yeah, we're good.
Thank you. Thank you, Christian.